Ladies and gentlemen, we've all been waiting for a new mode, something big to take over the WWE 2K franchise. Now, they've brought in different match types, they've brought in different things to get the fans and consumers hyped about the video game and what could potentially come to the franchise. But there's one mode that we've been waiting on for a very long time, over a decade at this point, and I think that it's time that we bring back Story Designer. Now, this has been probably the most requested thing from the fans, from the consumers, from everybody who plays this game. I don't think there's been a thing that has been talked about more than story mode, if I'm being completely honest. And we need this mode back because it seems like what we've been trying to get out of universe mode, it seems like partly a lot of that could be in story mode and things that we've already had in the past. Story mode, to me, is probably one of the best ideas that this game could bring in terms of longevity and people playing this game more. But if you bring story mode back, you cannot bring it back without the community creations feature. You need to find a way to make sure that these stories can be uploaded onto community creations. The reasons why I say that is because before, when we did have Story Designer, that was a thing that was in the game. So I feel like it would be crazy if we get this mode back with no community creations. That's one. And two, people really like the story aspect, but people just don't want to create stories all day, every day. Some people just want to go in there and enjoy it. I remember there were creators back in the day where they would post their stories and the stories would be so good. I didn't even want to create my own. I just wanted to go through their story, right? And this would allow us to have multiple campaigns throughout the year. I mean, it's really a no-brainer in terms of wanting people to play this game for long periods of time, especially with all the assets that you have from My Rise throughout the years, universe mode throughout the years. There's just so many assets of story mode cutscenes that you guys have most likely throughout all these modes. And not only that, Story Designer had so many cutscenes back in the day as well. And I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say so many. It was just so many, bro. Like, you could put wrestlers eating at a restaurant, you could put the referee in the storyline, like you could literally put any personnel, cameraman. If you wanted to have your own version of Stu in the game, you could have that as well. I mean, there was so much that you could do, like cars blowing up on fire as well. That was another thing as well that was possible in the game. I mean, there was just a lot with Story Designer story mode that if they did bring it back, they'd have to try and reach all of those expectations. And obviously, we know that a lot of what the time frame allows them to do is a lot of, hey, this is version 1, we're going to go and climb up and make it better next year. But personally, I think that this has to be more of a more complete version where you just keep adding cutscenes and doing things like that throughout the next couple years, instead of, hey, here's version 1 and that's that. I feel like if we're not going to get a refresh this year, which I don't think we are, I feel like there is a formula that they found and they're just going to keep running with it and adding to it, which again, I'm not that mad at it, honestly, because for the most part, most things work in the game. Aside from the, community creations, the patch issues, things like that, the game is solid, it works. And why build something new right now if this works, especially with how much we've gotten added over the years in terms of match types and, match additions and just environmental additions, right? It just makes no sense personally to go that route. But when you look at it and you look at, what they can do with this game, the fact that they add every year, it would make sense to just keep the game the way it is. Now, you bring in a story mode, you bring in something that's actually groundbreaking, and you add, better graphics and things like that, but you keep the same engine that they have. Because again, it's not my favorite. And it's not a lot of people's favorite. Some people like it, some people don't. But I do think that it's good enough to continue adding to it, especially throughout the years. I mean, when you look at the news that broke with EA and, them getting bought out, and Silver Lake and Endeavor, just in case you guys don't know, Silver Lake has some part with Endeavor, and Endeavor, as you guys know, it trickles all the way down to WWE. Some people have thought, hey, what if EA somehow, some way, they're very interested in the license and things like that happens, right? So I think 2K's priority, right? And again, that's all speculation. I don't even think it's really a rumor. It's really more just speculation. But I think 2K needs to continue doing their best and trying their best to make sure that this game sells and people are happy with this product, because there has been a lot of loss of followers and things like that throughout this year in 2K25, and by any means, I don't think the game has been really all that bad. I think that there has just been lots of hiccups within the patches and things that have destroyed people's, hard time, just hours of work, is just a really, really tough way to, look at it, in my opinion. I think that we really need to be better at that when it comes down to patches with playtesting and things like that, to make sure that things like this do not happen before putting the patches out. But I am steering away from the video. Just what I want to mean by all that, and just to wrap up that thought, is that we need to make sure that this game runs as smooth as possible, one, and two, we add something very, very huge like a story designer to make sure that consumers and the fan base are happy, because I do see interest dwindling, and I think that this mode can save the franchise in terms of making sure that people are actually playing this game and not tuning out so early in the year. Because what usually happens is, from March to summer, hey, this game is great, this game is amazing, and then we start to see the cracks. And then we start to see people falling off this game, and then we start to see people not putting in as much time. Next thing you know, we're just sitting around waiting for the next video game. And I can go on and on about the game itself, about things that we should be allowed to do aside from story designer, but this mode is really something that I think the game needs, and something that I think will increase playtime with everyone, and I think it'll make everyone happier, man. I think that being able to stream a story or do things as a content creator, that personally changes the game for me, and I can't imagine how much it would change it from a consumer standpoint. Someone that doesn't really even do content creating like myself, you would just enjoy the stories, you would build your own stories. At that point, what's a universe mode, right? Like me personally, if story designer was in, I would not touch universe mode, and I know that because when that was the case, I did not touch universe mode. Universe mode really started being a thing for me and started becoming a staple in this game for myself, was when story designer mode was no longer a thing. So I really want to see this mode in this game. I really want to see the game just continuously just get better. And if you are not going to make a refresh, which again, I don't think so, you need to bring something huge in aside from quality of life features that we've already brought in. I think that we really need to make something go crazy this upcoming year in 2K26. I think that needs to be the main point with 2K26, and just allow us to just do everything that we want in story designer. I know that a lot of it comes out to the licensing, but at one point we were able to do so. I think that as happy as I would be, I want to see those features, kind of similar to back then, and just tons of cutscenes, right? That's the biggest fear of mine, the fact that we could possibly get story mode back, but it'll be very, very bare bones. And I think that's something that happened with the island. So many people were excited about the island, and then it was bare bones, and then it was like, man, I'm not sure what to really do here, It's one of those things where I really hope that it's been developed over the years and it just didn't make it in last year, and this year we really see what story designer was supposed to be, this whole time. So I'm really excited for the future. I know a lot of people are not really excited about the future of the franchise due to just things that have happened, just inconveniences throughout this year, but I'm always excited to see what's going to be brought next to the table. I've been playing these games all my life. Even when I stopped watching the WWE, I still made sure to purchase the video games and still play them. So I'm always going to get a new wrestling game. It's just a matter of, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be good but still have some defects? Not every game is going to be perfect. Honestly, not any game will ever be perfect, because again, it's a different audience that, sometimes gets pleased and the different audience that doesn't get pleased. But I think that story mode will be that mode that I think pleases everybody. Let me know down below if you guys have been enjoying the content. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.